Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to make a shrimp and mirliton dressing. Now, mirlitons are these green like squash things. So the first thing we need to do is peel and cut up 8 of these. I've already gotten one started and we're going to go ahead and finish this one. But you just peel them, take out the pit that's in the middle, or the seed, whatever you want to call it. Now this will leave a like an enzyme on your hands that's going to make them feel tight. So make sure you wash your hands really well. You need to be washing your hands really well anyway, but you wash them really well to get that enzyme off. And then I'm just going to slice each quarter in half and dice it up. And I have them going into my little veggie steamer because I'm going to put them in the microwave and steam them to soften them up a little more than halfway before we mix them in with the dressing. But we're going to get all of these cut up. We're going to get about 1.5 bell pepper cut up because these, as you can see, are ginormous bell peppers. But we'll get those de-seeded and cut up, and I have already some celery and some onion cut up as well. So this does take a lot of veggies, and it's super easy to peel. Now it is slippery, but it's not hard to peel. But we're going to get these halfway cooked. That way when we mix them in with the breadcrumbs and everything, it comes together really quickly. So it is, this does have several separate steps, but told y'all it was slippery. But in the end, you just combine them all together and bake, and it's ready to roll. Okay, I have the first half done, so I'm going to get these in the microwave and get them steaming in a little steamer bucket. Empty this out and I'll be right back. Alright y'all, so we got those first 4 peeled, de-seeded, chopped up, and about halfway cooked. They're sitting next to me, kind of cooling down a little bit. Now they don't have to cool down entirely, but took them out, and we're going to do the next 4 and pop them in this little steamer basket. Now this thing unfortunately will only hold about 4 of these. You can cook them on your stovetop and just boil them in a little bit of salty water. But whereas in this little pot they take about 8 to 10 minutes in the oven, they're going to take about a half hour or so on your stovetop. So you probably can see why I like, just even if it's in 2 separate batches, doing them in this little steamer basket. So we're going to finish slicing all of these up. Alright y'all, so I'm going to get these cooking and this dumped out, and I'll be right back. Okay, now it's time to get our pepper chopped up. So we'll start with the red one. We'll pull out our seeds. So that's about all the bell pepper we need. We're going to save this for another recipe, but our mirlitons are still cooking in the microwave. We're going to move to the stovetop and get the base of this whole dish coming together. Okay y'all, so I have a couple tablespoons of butter melting on the stovetop. We're going to toss in about a medium onion's worth. Again, this is some I have in my freezer that I'm using up. don't rush things like I'm teaching you. Let it heat all the way up, especially if you're using oil, because then your veggies will just absorb all of that if your pan's too cold. You want them to cook properly. But we're also going to toss in our bell pepper, which either 2 small medium ones or 1.5 large. I like different colors because you can see all the pretty different colors of it, and they all taste just a little bit different. I'm going to also add in a cup of chopped celery. Again, this is from my freezer stock of what I have. Any of my vegetables that I know I'm not going to use up in time, I chop them up and freeze them so that it makes it nice and convenient for situations like this as well. We're going to let those simmer and cook down. Oh, almost forgot my garlic. We're going to add in 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. And I told y'all I like garlic, so I'm a little heavy-handed on the garlic. Now we'll get it mixed around. We're going to let this cook for about 10 minutes. We'll keep stirring it every few minutes. Okay, y'all, our veggies are about where we need them to be, so we're going to get our shrimp ready to go in here, and I'm just going to cook them in the same pan, and we're going to add in some Tony Chayotes to season them. So I would say you need about a pound of shelled and deveined shrimp, but we're just going to kind of eyeball it because I know I have a lot more than that. Now you want the smaller size ones. Again, I'm using what I have in the house, and these were just some that we had picked up. So you hear that I'm kind of pulling them out of here. I'm making 2 different recipes with this shrimp today. So you want peeled and deveined shrimp. Like I said, probably a pound. I think I'm doing a little bit more than that. I mean, I know I'm doing a little bit more than that right now. And shrimp do not take very long at all to cook. So we're gonna, here, let me get a measuring spoon so I can tell y'all exactly how much I'm using. So this way I can show y'all and let you know exactly how much I use in it instead of just eyeballing it. I would probably say I would start with a tablespoon. So yeah, because that looks like nothing compared to it. So you see how the shrimp are turning pink already? They're already getting cooked through. Pink is cooked, gray is raw. And it just takes just a few minutes for those shrimp to cook. And this is even going in the oven, so they're going to keep cooking. But with them still raw, I'm not going to taste test. I want them completely cooked before I taste this. I'm going to go ahead and add in another half tablespoon. Because I definitely think we're going to need at least that much. Alright, so I'm going to give them a taste. and see how our seasoning is. Doing good. Alright, so we're going to turn this down just a little bit. I'm going to add about half of my mirlitons. And then we're going to toss in some breadcrumbs. Now, I like the Italian style breadcrumbs, and I've got about 3/4 of a can. So we're going to see how much we use, but we want to base it off of consistency. These breadcrumbs, that juice that was in the bottom is going to soak it up. Alright, and we're going to add in the other half. And then some more breadcrumbs. So far we've done about 1/2 of a can. Now we have the oven preheated to 350. And this next step you can skip if you don't like spicy foods. It's okay. But I'm going to add in a few splashes of hot sauce. Alright, we're going to mix it all around. I'm going to spray my 9x13 pan. We're going to pour this in and put it in the oven at 350 for 35 minutes. So, I will see y'all back in about 35 minutes. Hey y'all, so I poured it out of the skillet into our baking dish, and I just popped it in the oven. Cleaning up the countertop, I realized I forgot to put in my 2 eggs. So I pulled it out, cracked 2 eggs, and just got it all mixed around. So now it's actually really ready to go in the oven, and it'll cook at 350 for 35 minutes. And this is looking much better. It's looking like it's supposed to, but you see how full it is also. So what I missed the first go round is putting my 2 eggs in. We just put those in, mix it all around. It helps bind it all together, so it's more like a casserole or a dressing. Now we're going to put it in the oven, and we'll see y'all in 30 minutes for real this time. Hey y'all, so our mirliton and shrimp dressing is all finished. Sorry for the wardrobe change. I've got somewhere to be in just a little bit. So we're going to dish this up and taste test and let y'all see that it all just comes together really well. So I'm breaking it apart. So I like to usually let it sit a little bit longer, but like I said, I've got somewhere to be, so I wanted y'all to see what it looks like. Now, if you don't want these big chunks in your dressing, then you can just chop them up and they'll to be a little bit smaller. But you see it's piping hot. We want a little bit of the dressing. Got a little shrimp here. And this is one of the reasons I was saying we want the smaller shrimp in it, because they'll get more evenly spaced throughout the whole thing. This is not something, the dish that you want those big juicy shrimp in. Save those for like your bacon wrapped shrimp or something. But it's still hot. I always try to eat things too quickly. But if you'll remember, we didn't add a ton of separate seasoning. We let the bell peppers, the onions, and all of the ingredients really do the job of flavoring this. We added some extra Tonys and some garlic, but other than that, you really let the ingredients speak for themselves. Very good. But there it is. Hopefully you'll give it a try and let us know what you think. We'll see you next time. Bye.